If you're wondering what fascism looks like, it looks like this. CBS is officially canceling Stephen Colbert's Late Show exactly 3 days after he went on the air and said that the $16 million payment that the company made to Donald Trump in order to settle his extremely frivolous and ridiculous lawsuit out of court was nothing more than a bribe. And he's 100% right, by the way. This absolutely was a bribe. The lawsuit that Donald Trump brought up against 60 Minutes for allegedly doctoring an interview with Kamala Harris was based on nothing, completely unwarranted, and experts have agreed that it likely would have gone nowhere in the court system. But so many corporations elected to pay Donald Trump an absurd amount of money just to curry favor with this administration. Paramount's official reasoning for doing this is for financial reasons. However, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is the highest performing late night show on TV right now, and they were just nominated for yet another Emmy. There's also rumors that this might be happening as well with The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. And interestingly, this is happening ahead of one of the largest proposed mergers in entertainment history that requires FCC approval. Paramount Global is looking to merge with Skydance Media, which would be one of the largest and most historic entertainment mergers. It would make them one of the most powerful entertainment conglomerates in the entire world. Interestingly, a merger like this likely wouldn't even have been legal a few years ago due to antitrust laws that are meant to protect consumers and maintain a healthy competitive market. But the Trump administration has been rolling back regulation on all industry, including the entertainment industry, since his first term. Even more interestingly, one of the biggest pieces of legislation that was meant to protect consumers from things like monopolies and conglomerates being able to screw over consumers was also involving Paramount. It was the Paramount versus the United States case of 1948 that prevented movie theaters from joining with movie studios in order to maintain and control the entire market, essentially. In 2020, under President Donald Trump, a federal court reversed the 70-year protections of the Paramount decrees. So this is what we're left with now. If you're looking at something like this and thinking, how could this happen? Like, how could something like this, something of this magnitude, something so blatantly and gratuitously corrupt, how could something like this be allowed to happen? It feels familiar in a really unsettling way. Yeah, it's really reminiscent of a lot of dystopian fiction, like V for Vendetta comes to mind, which is something that I have said over and over again, because this is an attack on our right to free speech. Colbert isn't a revolutionary. He's not a radical. He's not a threat to the status quo. He's a millionaire who lives an incredibly comfortable life, who really only engages with politics on his show in a way that is extremely surface level and entertainment based. What he does do, though, is frequently take jabs at Donald Trump and openly mocks him, which is apparently unacceptable in this regime. And the problem with increasingly the only media that we have access to being owned and operated by people whose morals are 100% for sale is that all that matters to them is their bottom line, okay? They want this deal to go through. They want to buy another yacht this year. So who gives a shit if Stephen Colbert vanishes into the night? And honestly, like, he'll probably be fine. Stephen Colbert is probably going to get the Conan treatment. He'll probably still be on our screens in one way or another. But this is censorship in a way that is genuinely terrifying. It would be bad enough if this were an isolated incident, but it's far from it. This is happening right off the heels of the government officially defunding NPR and PBS, which, by the way, strips mostly rural areas of the only emergency service and public broadcasting that they have access to. There are countless news cases news stories that have been broken by small publicly funded media like NPR journalists. PBS is something that provides children's entertainment all across the country for free. How is this a fucking bad thing? But it's a bad thing to people who want to control absolutely everything that you see. And the people who say, oh, well, NPR and PBS, there's left-leaning bias. Look at their content, genuinely. It is a broad spectrum across the board. I can't even imagine the amount of jobs that are in danger now because of this budget cut that was just pushed through, again, in likely mostly rural and suburban areas, because a lot of local news is, at least in part, publicly funded. That's something that we pay taxes for. And I know for a lot of people, seeing headlines like this or videos like this, it's easy to roll your eyes at, oh, well, late night's been on a downward trend anyways. I don't even watch Colbert. Who cares? It's probably not that big of a deal. NPR and PBS, I don't have kids or I don't listen to NPR. So it doesn't really affect me. I don't care if my taxes go to that anyways. But NPR and PBS, public broadcasting, is vitally important. And also, if something like this can happen to Stephen Colbert, imagine if a regular person says something. I'm scared to be posting stuff like this on the internet that I'm going to be put on some kind of fucking list, genuinely. I really think that this is one of the most existential threats to our democracy that I have seen in a long time, and it is genuinely terrifying. I want people to remember, though, that there are still things that we can do. Our representatives have made it clear that they don't fucking care to listen to us, but we can still make our voices heard. We can still annoy the fuck out of them. You can and should be calling your representatives to let your dissatisfaction with this known. And also, public broadcasting is publicly funded. I have set up a monthly donation to both NPR and PBS starting this month, because not only do I think it's a vital service, but I'm grateful to have it, and the work that they do is genuinely incredible. I highly recommend setting something like that up. I've put links in my bio so you can donate to both of them. We talk so much on this app about like the importance of media. I've had a lot of these conversations. People love to moralize media in a way that I think is too far in the modern day. Like, people are like, this movie is problematic, or this movie's message is like cowardly and bad. And like, to an extent, I think those conversations matter. Like, I've had some of those conversations. This conversation is infinitely more important. This is a tangible, like, real world effect of fascism, of genuinely our government like becoming undemocratic. It is scary and real, and all of the warnings in media, all of the undertones, all of the subtle message, all of the political messaging in media can be wonderful and great. This is the real cause and effect of those messaging. And I feel like people need to be talking about this and need to be aware of the genuine threat that this poses to our way of life. Also, PBS, if you're listening, I would love it if you guys had like a t-shirt that said PBS on it, or a tote, or a mug or something. I can't find anything on your official store, but there is products for the shows that they produce if you do want to support them that way. NPR has some merch. It's also pretty limited right now. I know that's probably, you got a lot on your plate right now, but I'm just saying, I think it could be an investment opportunity. I would buy. So that's my last pitch. Anyways, remember, there are things we can do. Don't panic, but do act.